relationship, the only piece of information you are missing is this one that I am going to show you right now. So I'm going to tell you exactly why you're struggling with love and relationships and how to fix that. But before we do that, show reel. This was a piece of information that I was missing, and then I found out at the age of 38. So you guys are in luck. Yay! I am going to tell you exactly why you are struggling in love and relationships. Okay? What little piece of information you are not having. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you another reason, very, very, very hidden, why you might be struggling. But let's start with this one. The piece of information that you do not have is that there are 4 types of women in the world and 4 types of men in the world. Yes. There are only 4 types of women and 4 types of men. And those 4 types come very easily understood by elements. So we have water, fire, air, and earth. And this is how you can find out who you are and who you need in your life. Because sometimes you're confused of who do I really, really, really want in my life. Maybe I want somebody like my ex, maybe I don't want somebody like my ex, right? So there are 4 types of women, 4 types of men, easily recognizable by the 4 elements. Let's take water, for example. For men, we call them the creator. And I want you to think of Michelangelo. Okay? Musicians, artists, sculptors, architects, anybody that has anything to do with creation, right? With inspiration, with talent. For the women, we call them princess. And you met these kind of women all the time. They can't really drive. They don't know how to drive. They don't know how to do little things, right? That are technology-wise, right? They're just princesses. They're just vulnerable. They're just delicate. They're just, delicate flowers. Okay, so this is the water element. The fire element. The men, we call them managers. Why? Because they can manage very easily somebody else's money. They have that fire driven into them and they know how to make decisions about money and management. So everybody in the management position, they are fire. The women, we call them mistresses. And you met these kind of women. They are actors a lot of times. They are super sexy. They are dressing in red. They are, open about their sexuality, all the time with makeup, all the time with high heels, all the time with nails, okay? You have met these kind of women all the time. The air element. The men will call them entrepreneurs. Now, why do we call them entrepreneurs? It's because they are the ones who have the driven energy to open a business. They have so much energy, so much motivation. They have a vision. They know what they want. They know how to get it. They're working their way out. Okay? It's like the air. It knows when to blow and it knows when to calm down. All right? Exactly like the air. And the women are called queens. You saw these kind of women. They are CEOs of companies. They are women with power. They are women who sometimes they dress in pants. Okay? A lot of times they dress in pants. They can do so much more, right, with their life. And men are quite intimidated by them. because they're very forceful, right? They're very powerful women. And a lot of single mothers are like that. They are queens. They're very powerful women. Now, the earth element, you saw it all the time in men. We call them kings. Okay? They're men who are kings in their domain, practically. They're men who work in the army, they work in the government, they like to serve, they have stable jobs, stable businesses. Everything is stability with them, okay? They don't like to go entrepreneurship or management style or creator style. No, they're steady. And the women, you see them all the time. They are mothers. You saw these kind of women that their family and their children and their husbands are number one in their life, right? You saw them all the time. The problem comes in 2 steps here with these 4 elements. And the problem is the following. If you identified yourself as 1 or maybe 2 of these elements, are you into shadow? Or maybe you identified 1 or 2 of these elements on your partner, right? Are they into a shadow? Okay. And what does that mean? They're in the negative side of the element. Okay. For example, a man here, a creator here, is the one that he didn't find his talent, he didn't find what he needs to do in his life, and just sits on the couch doing nothing. Or a princess here, for example, she ended up finding an abusive husband or abusive partner because she didn't know how to protect herself. Okay, that's the shadow element of water. The shadow element of fire, for example, is a manager that, makes money in the wrong way, right? Like a gigolo. All right? I mean, knows how to manage other people and other finances, but in a different, wrong way. Or a woman, a mistress that is not stable to her partner. Okay? She goes out with a lot of other guys. That's the shadow element of fire. The shadow element of air is an entrepreneur who doesn't care about anybody else but his business. Doesn't care anything about his freedom, his friends. Not nothing but his family, nothing by his partner. These are actually very hard and difficult men to work with, especially if you want a family with them. Or the queen. The queen is the one that is going to slap and impose herself on anything and anybody in the house, right? So which man would you like to be with somebody that, is going to give him directions? That's the shadow element of a queen. Or the shadow element of a king here on the earth. These are abusive men. These are jealous men. And the same thing will be with the mothers. They're jealous mothers, that somebody is stealing their child or stealing their husband. Okay? And they're trying to dominate and they're trying to just protect everything and everybody to the level of strangling. So this is one thing that can happen with these elements. The shadow element. The second thing you have to understand about this is how these dynamics work. Okay? So let's say you identified in 2 of these, any 2 of these. You're going to need the other 2 to complete yourself. Now, if you are in one of these shadows, you're going to find 2 other elements in one partner that's also in shadow. Okay, so here be very careful if you are in this shadow level, okay, of either jealous or, abusive or any of these shadow elements. Be very careful how the dynamics will work, because if you succeed to get yourself usually out of depression, this is why this shadow happens, is because of a depression, because you had a very, a hard life. because you had a hard life. Okay, you're not into shadow because you just popped out to be bad. Okay, you're in shadow because you had a hard life. Or your partner might be into shadow because they had a hard life. So if you fix this depression part, which is very fixable by the way, okay, then you can step into these elements in their love and graciousness and exactly how it's supposed to be. Okay, but I promised you that at the end of this video I will tell you another reason, not actually the depression reason and the shadow reason, why people still have trouble. Even after understanding these elements, they still have problems in relationships and love. And that reason is because if your ex, the most influential ex of your life, was into any kind of this shadow position, you know, any of these elements, that ex might still be connected energetically with you. Oops. So, it's even after understanding these and even after understanding the dynamics and everything else, you might still be linked to some kind of shadow partner that you probably separated for the last 12 years. Okay. So, if you guys want to know more about how these dynamics work and to figure out how to embrace them and how to become a relationship specialist and never fail in love and relationships, okay, we have a specific course at LENNYR.podia.com. We have a specific course for true love attraction secrets. And we also have courses how to disconnect from your ex, get over your ex in 5 days. So you guys can check this out, okay? We do have these courses available because many people don't have this information and they do not know how to get in touch with their true self and the true love they desire. And this is the missing piece, all right? If you guys like these kind of videos, click the thumbs up button. If you guys did not subscribe yet to my channel, okay, and didn't click the notification bell below, subscribe and click the notification bell below, because I am dedicated to make daily videos that depression is a fixable condition and people don't have to suffer. And relationships, exactly how I explained it here, is the main part why people end up in depression in their entire life, because they don't have this information. As soon as you get this information, or you know somebody that struggles with love and relationships, you know this information, everything else solves out and you can live exactly the life you want. Very simple. Love you guys.